Princess Catherine's mandatory dress code. 1. Mandatory dress and skirt length. Royal protocol places strict requirements on the length and structure of Princess Catherine's skirts and dresses, turning even hemlines into matters of state. Official guidance requires skirts and dresses to fall at or below the knee, ensuring coverage when standing and seated. High slits are discouraged. When permitted, they must be low and discreet, never rising above the knee line. To prevent accidental exposure, many garments are tailored with weighted hems or thick inner linings, a technique frequently used by royal designers such as Alexander McQueen. When sitting, Catherine often employs the Duchess slant, a posture taught to royal women to keep legs together and skirts properly positioned. Shorts or miniskirts are entirely unacceptable at formal engagements, regardless of climate or location. A well-known example occurred during the 2011 Canadian tour, when strong winds threatened Catherine's skirt. The incident reinforced why longer cuts and heavier fabrics are preferred. The reasoning behind these rules is not moral judgment, but media risk management. A single revealing photograph can dominate headlines, overshadow diplomatic goals, and invite tabloid sensationalism. By enforcing modest lengths, the palace minimizes visual controversy, protects Catherine from intrusive scrutiny, and preserves a dignified, timeless image aligned with the monarchy's expectation of restraint and continuity. 2. Color rules for each event. Royal color rules are never a matter of personal taste for Princess Catherine. They are a carefully calibrated language of symbolism, visibility, and respect. At large royal events with crowds, walkabouts, or balcony appearances, she is encouraged to wear bright, solid colors such as red, cobalt blue, emerald green, or deep pink. The reason is practical as much as symbolic. Bold colors allow the public to easily identify her from a distance, reinforcing visibility and connection. A clear example was her repeated use of vivid blue and green coats during Jubilee celebrations, widely noted by royal correspondents. For diplomatic meetings or serious institutional events, the palette shifts deliberately to neutral tones like navy, beige, cream, or soft gray. These colors project professionalism, restraint, and respect, ensuring attention remains on the purpose of the engagement rather than the outfit. During overseas tours, Catherine often mirrors this approach to avoid cultural missteps. At funerals or remembrance services, strict protocol applies. Full black attire without patterns, paired with minimal jewelry, typically pearls or small diamonds. Her black ensemble at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral followed this rule precisely. At weddings, she avoids white or pale cream to prevent overshadowing the bride, and also avoids all black looks. Every color choice signals discipline, hierarchy, and awareness of royal optics. 3. Shoes, accessories, and small details. In royal protocol, shoes, accessories, and even the smallest details are never treated lightly, especially for Princess Catherine. Footwear is governed by a balance of symbolism, safety, and visual discipline. Closed-toe shoes are strongly preferred, typically with moderate heels between 5 and 7 centimeters, allowing elegance without sacrificing stability during long public engagements. Extremely high stilettos or revealing sandals are avoided because a single misstep can become headline news. During outdoor events, such as Buckingham Palace garden parties, Catherine often wears flat shoes or discreet wedge soles, as sharp heels sinking into grass would appear careless and undignified. Another nearly mandatory element is hosiery. Wearing sheer nude tights, even in summer, follows a rule long upheld by Queen Elizabeth II. The late Queen believed bare legs looked overly casual for official duty. Catherine consistently follows this standard, reinforcing continuity and respect for royal tradition. This subtle choice also ensures uniform appearance under strong lighting and relentless photography. Jewelry choices are equally controlled. Statement pieces are avoided in favor of classic pearls and modest diamonds, many from royal collections. Catherine frequently wears pearl drop earrings at diplomatic receptions, signaling restraint rather than excess. Importantly, jewelry must never carry political messages or controversial symbolism. Every accessory contributes to an image of neutrality, dignity, and institutional stability that the modern monarchy depends on. 4. Hat and glove rules. Hats and gloves play a small but symbolically heavy role in Princess Catherine's public appearances, reflecting centuries of royal etiquette. Hats are mandatory at formal daytime events, such as royal weddings, church services, and the royal ascot. This rule comes from British aristocratic tradition, where hats signified rank and respectability in daylight ceremonies. Catherine has followed this consistently, from structured hats at Trooping the Colour to wide-brimmed designs at ascot, carefully chosen to avoid blocking others' views. After 6 p.m., however, hats are traditionally replaced by evening hair jewelry or tiaras, a protocol Catherine observes during state banquets, most notably when she wore the lover's knot tiara at Buckingham Palace receptions. Gloves are reserved for the most formal occasions and serve both practical and symbolic purposes. Historically, they prevented germs during long greeting lines and reinforced social distance. When Catherine wears gloves, etiquette requires her to remove them before shaking hands, as seen during diplomatic receptions. Color coordination is essential. Gloves must complement the outfit without drawing attention. Nude, cream, or soft pastel tones are preferred. These details may appear minor, but they reinforce discipline, continuity, and visual harmony. In royal diplomacy, even accessories communicate respect, restraint, and institutional stability without a single word being spoken to global audiences worldwide. 5. Dress code for meeting the Queen. When Queen Elizabeth II was still on the throne, Princess Catherine was required to follow an even stricter set of appearance and behavior rules whenever she appeared in the monarch's presence. Clothing was the first layer of discipline. Dresses had to fall clearly below the knee, sleeves were expected to be modest, and necklines conservative. These rules were not about fashion taste, but hierarchy. If the Queen chose a bold color for an engagement, Catherine avoided wearing similarly striking tones, ensuring visual priority remained with the sovereign. This practice was visible during numerous joint appearances, such as Commonwealth Day services, where Catherine's palette was deliberately softer than the Queen's. Movement and posture were equally regulated. Catherine was trained never to turn her back directly toward the Queen and to perform only a restrained curtsy, avoiding exaggerated bows that could appear theatrical. Footwear also mattered. Queen Elizabeth II strongly preferred low or moderate heels, partly for comfort and partly for uniformity. Catherine therefore avoided high stilettos in the Queen's presence, opting instead for block heels or flats, as seen during Balmoral and Windsor engagements. The unspoken principle behind every rule was simple yet absolute. No one should visually or behaviorally outshine the monarch. Catherine's careful compliance reinforced continuity, respect, and authority. 6. When was a slight break allowed? When Princess Catherine is said to bend the rules, it never means abandoning tradition. It means controlled flexibility, applied only in carefully approved contexts. During sporting events or hands-on charity work, she is permitted to wear jeans, polo shirts, or sneakers. This is not casual freedom, but functional symbolism. For example, during visits to youth sports programs or early childhood centers, Catherine often appears in tailored jeans and trainers to signal approachability while remaining polished. Torn denim, overly tight silhouettes, or slogan clothing remain strictly forbidden. At private family moments or low-key engagements, Catherine may adopt slightly shorter hemlines or appear without sheer tights, a visible departure from Queen Elizabeth II's legacy rules. Even then, lengths remain modest, and styling is deliberately conservative. These moments communicate relatability without undermining royal dignity. Another sanctioned exception involves diplomatic messaging. Catherine frequently wears national colors of host countries, such as red and white in Canada or green in Ireland, reinforcing goodwill through visual respect. She also repeats outfits intentionally, a practice praised after her recycled coats and dresses during royal tours, aligning the monarchy with sustainability values. The key principle is restraint. Catherine's rule-breaking is never spontaneous. Each deviation is calculated, brief, and symbolic, ensuring modern relevance without provoking controversy or eroding tradition.